What's up, guys? It's Steph Allen. If you're ready to build real strength mentally, physically, and spiritually, this is the show for you. No fluff, no hype, just real conversations and real growth. Welcome to Brotherhood Rising. What is up, everybody? I'm pumped up because this is my third interview. I need to do these more frequently, but we got to schedule it, and I forget sometimes. Just going to be very honest. But man, I am here today with my guy Chip Dunn, and I can't express enough how well. Number one, a couple things. Number one, how close me and Chip have gotten since September. How much he means to me, and just how awesome it has been to see him growing as a husband, as a father, and just as a man inside the Brotherhood group. So today's episode, we are interviewing, like I said, my guy Chip. Talk about a story, talk about the Brotherhood group, why he joined, where or how he got here, and all of the progress and all the growth that he has made in his life. And he's about to, or he works at Shelter Insurance, crushing it, which once you hear him and hear him talk, you're not going to be surprised. You're not surprised that he's crushing it. He's about to have a little girl. So that's exciting for him and his family, his second one. And he's no different from you and from me and most of the listeners on this podcast. He's a dad, he's a husband, he's working full time. He's got a big desire and passion to win in life, to provide for his family, to grow in his career, and just on fire for the Lord. And that's something that I'm learning more and more as I teach and as I mentor men. A lot of us, we have that desire in us, but if we're not in the right environments to let that out or to cultivate that, sometimes it gets suppressed for way too long. And but when you are in the right environment, are in the right when you're around the right amount of people, it just starts to come out. So I'm excited for our conversation. I'm excited for you guys to hear Chip and his story. And man, let's dive in. Chip, welcome to Brotherhood Rising, man. How you doing?
Steph, what's up, brother? Man, glad to be here.
Dude, I'm so excited. We've been talking about doing this for probably about a month or so, and we finally just was like, hey, we need to do this, especially before baby gets here.
I know. Yeah, my availability is about to be very scarce. I feel like in
Mm-hmm.
a week from yesterday, so the
Yep.
26th,
Week
baby
from
number two is
yesterday
on the
for
way.
you, and then about a month for us. So we're
That's
both
right.
gonna
Yeah,
be deep into it for having a new
back to
little
that
one.
newborn stage.
I know, man. I know. Man, but Chip, man, just give us a quick intro. We're going to dive into some stuff, but if you ran into somebody on the street and they're like, man, tell me about yourself, what's your short elevator pitch of who Chip Dunn is?
Yeah, man. So, I was actually born in Marietta, Georgia, but my family moved back home. Both my parents are from the Middle Tennessee area, so we moved back here when I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. Grew up here. Grew up around, great family. All my family was from this area. Went to high school. I actually went to the same school, kindergarten through 12th grade. I went to a private Christian school in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is where I did most of my upbringing.
You did that from kindergarten to 12th grade?
Yeah, yeah. So the school
That is
actually
awesome.
it starts in preschool now. So we actually just took my 2-year-old son on a tour
To the
for the
same school?
to the same school. Yeah. So I've got a nephew
What?
there. My sister and I both graduated from there. I've got a nephew there. And then my son, hopefully if he gets accepted, no, I'm just kidding, we'll accept him. But I don't know. After they see his little wild 2-year-old tornado self, they might be
Uh,
questioning it. But he's gonna be going there hopefully next year, starting in what they call the Early Learning Christian Center. So
Very
super
cool.
pumped for that. So that school has meant a lot to me, Middle Tennessee Christian School in
Yeah.
Murfreesboro. It it, it helped kind of mold the Christian man I am today. So
Yeah.
was there through 12th grade. After high school, I went and played football at Tusculum College, in Greenville, Tennessee for a little while. Um, was there for about a year and a half and then got out and, was actually gonna transfer to another school out in West Tennessee. Got out and just started working, man, and decided, at 5'7", 180 pounds, I was probably gonna be better in the work field than I was the football field. Uh,
Hey,
got out
making
and
money
started.
versus going to school. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's hard
So
to
I
get it.
I got out, man. I started working. Had a couple different careers. Eventually landed with a company called Tin Roof out of Nashville. It's a live music venue, bar, restaurant. Um, Kind of quickly climbed up the ladder there. Was there just as like a server bartender for like 7 or 8 months. Moved into management, and that kind
Oh,
of yeah, kind of launched my career into restaurant management. So I was with that company for I think 8 years. Traveled around. Started in Nashville, eventually made my way to South Florida, Delray Beach.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Went, went and took over our Louisville, Kentucky location for a little while. Back to Delray, and then eventually ended my career there at Birmingham, Alabama. As we've before, great job. Love the people I worked for, but it was just one of those kind of late night. You're hanging
Yeah,
out with a bunch of people that might not be the best crowd to be around. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. I mean, it helped mold me into who I am today. It taught me a lot about dealing with people and being a professional in
yep,
whatever industry you're working in.
yep,
But eventually, it just kind of started wearing down. When I got over to Birmingham, that's when COVID kind of hit. Like I got there, Birmingham was kind of that next southeast city that was going to boom. I got
yeah.
there, things were going great, and then boom, COVID, and we like
Dang.
shut down. Uh, I experienced, and I'm sure we'll get into this later, but experienced some loss of some employees and stuff, and it just kind of things started weighing on me. And one day,
Mhm.
me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, we just decided, man, something's got to change here. So we loaded up, moved back to Tennessee, and I decided to start selling houses and did that for about 5 years. Still have my license, but it's just kind of a side thing now. And then eventually got into my career that I'm doing now, which is insurance, which I'm absolutely loving.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So much to talk about and to unpack, but man, I think the cool thing, I mean, you said this and I was just like, man, I kind of wish that was me, but I don't ever wish my life was somebody else's. But you went to the same school from being a little kid to graduating high school. And
Yeah.
I'm over here. I went to 2 elementary schools. I went to 2 middle schools. I went to 3 high schools. 2 colleges. So, I was when you said that, I was like, "Dang, what would it be like to be in the same place
And
for all
and
of
went
your
to
life?"
church. Yeah, and went to church
And
right across the street. So,
yeah, bro, that's awesome, that's awesome.
yeah.
Man, so, I think a cool place to start is just post-college, right? You start working, you get into Tin Roof. What was that like? I mean, you were dating your wife at the time?
Yeah, so me and my wife started dating, I think 2014.
Okay,
Um, and yeah, so I think me and her actually started dating right before I got into Tin Roof. I was still, in that industry a little bit, but when me and her dated, I had, like, 3 jobs. So I,
oh,
like,
okay,
helped a guy cut grass, was cutting grass on my own, worked for a catering company, and was also bartending. So I
okay.
was just grinding, but,
Yeah, which not I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised.
yeah,
Um, so how was that living that life of, like, late nights, being out, and you're in a relationship,
okay,
with your now wife, and then, obviously, everywhere you went, she just went with you. You moved
yeah.
and she went. So, how was that dynamic? Was that something that, did you know the whole time you were with her, like, "She's the one, I'm gonna marry her, it's just a matter of time," or were you guys just kinda seeing how it went?
Yeah, no, I knew the whole time. I mean, she would probably tell you I drug my feet a little too long. I think we dated for 7 years, 6 or 7 years before I ever popped the question, but it was typical young dude just starting his career.
Yeah,
I was like, you know, I thought I had to make a certain amount of money before I could make that jump, and I quickly realized, like, that number kept getting higher and higher, and I was like,
that's like, okay,
"I'm just
I
gonna
just gotta
keep
make this
chasing."
decision.
Yeah, and eventually she was like, "This ain't it. Like, what are we doing here?" Yeah, so she was in the industry too. Like, she always
Okay, so she
yeah,
worked
she
with you?
always served no, not with me, but she
Okay,
worked at different restaurants,
got you. Okay.
while we were she was with a company for a long time too. I don't even know if it's still around, but Old Chicago Pizza, she was with them for
Oh,
a
I've
long
heard of
time.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a few
Well,
still floating out there.
Yeah.
yeah, she was there for a while, and then every time we moved, she found different serving jobs or whatever it may be. She understood the industry. It was a little bit different because she kind of when she clocked out, she got to turn it off.
Right.
I used to, you know, I was salaried. Salary just means they don't care how much you're making an hour.
Yeah.
They don't
Right.
care to, they don't
They
care
don't
to.
care what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing for me to get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, "Hey, come back to the bar. There's something going down." So, and that
Dang.
was like on my nights off. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, man, it was awesome. I mean, it was a live music venue, so we had a ton of like country music artists that you hear on the radio today. Like, I got to shake hands with them and watch them perform at my venue. So
Yeah, that's cool.
that aspect of it was very cool. But it was just a job that, being around alcohol all the time, being around people just, not
Living it
living
up.
for, yeah, living it up and not living for God.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and good people just, they were just on a different path than I ultimately saw myself wanting to be on. And, it's easy to get caught up in that when you're in there from, you know, sun up to sundown some days. So, obviously that kind of, led to me getting into the bottle a little bit more than I had before and maybe not really realizing what that was doing with my home life. And I think, like you asked, I knew Morgan was the one for me from the moment we started dating, but it was one of those where I was like, man, if I don't change something, like she's
Mm,
not going to stick around for this guy. So,
wow. That's
yeah, so
good.
that was
I
it hit me like a ton of bricks one night, and I was just like, "Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know it can't be this anymore."
Yeah. So, okay, so your faith has safe to say it's been a big part of your life, probably mostly all your life. You went to a Christian school, right? Big part of your life. How what was that internal battle like knowing you had that foundation of, being you're raised in the church, you're raised in a Christian school, and then you get out into the world and then you're living in this worldly secular environment around alcohol, around music, around cussing, around all these things. Did you feel like there was an internal battle? Because you said something that made me wanna ask that question. You said, "I knew this wasn't the path that I ultimately wanted to go down."
Yeah.
So what was that internal battle like when you were just in that in that season of your life for quite a while, for a few years?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I think growing up, like you said, in the church and going to a private Christian school from kindergarten to 12th grade, like, there was not a whole lot of downtime where, like, God wasn't present in my life from
Yeah,
people outside of my life. So,
yep,
there was a part of me that, like, once I got out, I kinda compare you're a football guy. I kinda compare it to, like, when I got done playing football, I stopped running because no one was
yeah,
forcing me to.
yeah,
So, it was
yeah,
kind of almost like that, like, it was always in the back of my mind, and I think, like, I battled with that consciously, like, knowing I wasn't really doing what was right, but I was filling the void with things that were worldly just to kinda drown out that noise, and I didn't
100%.
have anyone there, daily telling me that I was doing wrong, and I
Yeah,
was kind of in a position of power at the time, so, I like no one's gonna come up to the boss and tell them that
yeah,
they need to get it together, which, I mean, it never got that bad, but it was,
sure. Yeah,
it could have easily taken that turn, but yeah, I know it was a constant battle within my head, but I mean, just being frank, like, I was really good at shutting that off at the time in my life,
yeah,
uh, looking back at it, who I am today versus who I was then, like, I would have been having a lot of fights with myself back then. Like, dude, what are you
yeah,
doing? But back
yeah,
then I was very good at just like canceling out the noise and I was good at canceling out what God was trying to tell me to do.
yeah, aren't we all? I mean, I definitely can relate to just seasons of my life where I knew how I was living was not ultimately what God wanted how God wanted me to live, but even, like, to your point, I knew I didn't really want to be living that specific way, but when you're in it, when you're younger, when you're immature, when you don't have any, like, the concept of, like, boundaries, when you don't really have boundaries in your life, it's something that things will if you don't have boundaries, man, things are gonna just flood in and you're gonna start living certain ways. You're gonna be like, "Holy cow, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?" So yeah, I think I can relate to that, and I think a lot of guys can relate to that because I feel like a lot of guys I talk to, they're like us. It's like they have some experience going to church when especially when they were younger, and then they get older, post college, they get into the real world, and then they start more or less just kinda living for the world and living their life based on what everybody else around them is doing. This is kind of a this random question just came into my head, but I'm curious to hear what you would say. Do you think that was do you think you were I want to I'm going to say it how I'm thinking it and then we'll unpack it. But my question is, do you think you were easily influenced whenever you were younger in that scene?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Uh,
'Cause I
yeah,
would say me too, but I didn't know if that was, like, the right way to ask it, but yeah,
yeah,
that's what I wanted.
and kind of in a weird way, not so much influenced, uh, as I was following people, but more so influenced by, like, because one thing I always had that was a positive for me was work ethic. Like, I was not scared to roll up my sleeves and work. So I think that progressed me in my career pretty far. But because of that, I had a lot of people telling me how great I was. And
Mm,
a lot of
yeah,
what I was doing was they were just kind of overlooking because I was a hard worker and was doing a good job for them. Same with like
yeah,
employees and everything. Like they respected me a lot as a boss. So I think some of my bad behavior was overlooked or even encouraged at times because I was also fun guy. Like I was the fun boss. Like we were gonna
mm,
work, but we were gonna have a good time. So yeah, I mean, I was easily influenced by just the way people perceived me.
yeah,
And they perceived me in a light that I wasn't necessarily perceiving myself at the time. But because other
mm,
people were telling me,
wow,
how awesome I was, I was believing it.
yeah. No, I would agree with that, and that's kinda where I was going with it, that level of influence, not like people are telling me what to do and how to live and do things like that, but because of how I was living, it was encouraged. I had a lot of friends or people were, proud of me, all these things, and it's just like it kinda I mean, it buffs up your ego a little bit. You're like, "Okay, like, I'm doing good, I'm crushing, I'm leading, like, why not let loose every now and then?" So, um,
Yeah.
how did that or did it, if it did, affect or impact just your relationship with your wife or girlfriend at the time, but your wife? Did work stuff and lifestyle ever bleed into relationship and cause any tension there? Or was it she understood it, she knew the lifestyle, so it was just never any problems, never any issues?
Yeah, no, I mean, there was definitely issues and problems with it. She was my biggest fan of my true self and probably my
Ooh,
least
that's good.
biggest fan of the guy that everyone else perceived me as, the Johnny
Yeah.
Goodtime at work. I mean, uh, yeah, it was hard to turn that off sometimes
Mhm.
coming home, and I think, I look back and kick myself, like, I missed out on a lot of good opportunities to spend time and grow with her in that chapter of life because I was so wrapped up in this career that I had, and like I said, man, I mean, I did a good job at the career, and we had a good time, but it was just the biggest part of me, which was my relationship with God, was just not present at the time, and she's always been okay with calling me out on that, which is why I'm with her today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she was supportive until I started acting like a knucklehead, and then she wasn't scared to let me know I was acting like a knucklehead, and me being the prideful guy I was just like, "You're the only person who doesn't think I'm awesome." I was like, "Everyone else thinks I'm cool, like, why don't you?"
Everyone
But she's like, "Well, I have to live with it."
Oh,
So,
that's hilarious. I'm laughing because I'm sure there are so many men who relate to that statement
yeah,
right there. You're the only one who doesn't think I'm awesome. Everyone else thinks I'm awesome.
man.
Oh, that's funny. But I think it goes back to what you said before that, and you said she loved you and encouraged you no, I'm butchering how you said it, but she loved you and encouraged you based on the man she knew you were,
Mhm.
not the man you were perceiving to be in front of everyone else. That wasn't she didn't like that version.
Yeah.
She wanted the version of you that she knew, like, your true self, which
Yeah. She
I would
she started
say
dating the guy that was working on the farm with his dad during the summers and coming home with grass and cow crap all over him. Like, she
yeah, yeah,
liked
yeah,
that guy. Uh,
yeah,
and, she was super proud of me when I did progress in my career, but, I mean, I think to say that it didn't get to my head a little bit would be a lie, so
yeah,
and see
yeah,
that now. I couldn't see it then, but she definitely
for
saw
sure.
it.
Praise God. Praise God for godly, God-fearing women.
Amen.
Come on, man. Cool. Okay, so now so kinda got a good frame of that. Now we're dad, now we're husband, now we're in our career. We're not bebopping around at late nights and hanging out with people in the bars and stuff like that, which we've all had that season, like, we get it. But I think the thing that'll be super valuable and super helpful for the men who listen to this podcast is that transition from living in and of the world because you're in the world primarily, but then you get removed from that. You start your career, you said you started selling houses,
Mhm.
and then now you're working for shelter, but I know you had a good long stint of selling houses there. But what was that shift? What were the changes that happened for you personally from a lifestyle, from a mindset standpoint, going from tin roof manager, working up at the top to selling homes, moving back to the Middle Tennessee area? Like, what was that shift for you, or what changed?
Yeah, so I think just to kind of
Or a
wrap.
come to Jesus moment, if you will, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, so the kinda come to Jesus moment, I don't wanna say it was just a moment, there was kind of a series of unfortunate events that took place in my career at Tin Roof that kinda led to me just being like,
Oh,
"There's
okay.
gotta be something more for me out there." So, towards the end, I mentioned, we went through the COVID thing there, which was
COVID, yeah.
detrimental to anybody in the service industry. So I was actually furloughed for a month or 2, so I was just
Mhm.
kind of out there floating with, I had some money saved up, but at the time I mean, it was like one day we were working, the next day, like, hey, we can't afford to keep everybody's staff. So, um, that was kind of just like a pocket shock to me. I mean, the world was shut down, so it wasn't like I could get out and spend money, but it
Right,
was,
yeah, yeah.
it was definitely just like not having that coming in. I kind of lost my sense of purpose, I felt like. So that happened. We eventually get back and man, not long after that, we had like a couple of uh, bad publicity things that happened within our bar. Like we had a girl that ended up going missing, and the last place she was seen was our bar. Like I had 60
Mm.
Minutes, all these major news channels like coming to try and interview me in the
Oh,
middle of
really?
work, and it was one of those things. It was like she was just here, like nothing. That this is
Yeah,
the
like,
last
I
place
don't
she was
know.
seen. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that happened around that time. Like I was having to lay off employees just because we were back at like just kind of watered down hours, and we just didn't have the funds to staff everybody, and we didn't have people coming through the door. Like people were still
Right.
pretty scared to get out. So,
Yep.
I was trying to find guys work when I could, but like had a couple of dudes that I was really close with that were staffers of mine. Had a sound guy that ran sound for all of our bands. We called him Chief James Hale. He was a Native American guy. We called him Chief. He's awesome dude. He came back. He came back after he kinda got sick there for a while. He had COVID. He came back on my next time I saw him, he had lost like 40 pounds in a month and was
Jeez.
just super sick. Long story short, he came back one night, to set up sound for us. We were back kind of running, like, we are able to have some live music and stuff again, so, like, he set up sound. I was like, "Hey, man, let's go grab dinner, like, they're good. Staff's got it for a couple hours, like, let's go grab dinner. Wanna catch up with you, like, I've missed you,
Yeah.
I hear about, like, how you're doing." So we go and, like, we have dinner that night, and then we came back to the bar, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, I'll see you tomorrow. We're setting up 6 o'clock or whatever for whatever band we had playing that next night. Like 6 o'clock came around, like the band's there. I'm calling Chief. There's no answer. Like eventually, luckily, we had some guys there that could kind of step in. But like I was like, man, it's not like him to just not be answering the phone. Well,
Right.
turns out like that night after we got back from dinner, he went home and like put some food in the microwave, went and sat down in his recliner, closed his eyes, and just never woke up. He he had passed away.
Oh my
And
gosh.
one of the band members was like neighbors with him, and they went to like to his house to check on him and found him there in his recliner. So like that, being the last guy that saw him alive, like that kind of took a hit on me because
Yeah.
we were pretty close at the time. We were really
Yeah.
close. So that happened, and then like literally a 1 week from that day, a security guy that I had that we had to lay off. I mean, we had laid off all of our security. We didn't have enough people there to need security. So he was working like some odd jobs. He was working for a guy, was out on a boat doing some work, boat capsized. He drowned a
Oh
week
my
after
god.
that. So like those kind of things, being the guy in charge and just feeling like all this stuff's happening around me that's out of my control, it was just that took a heavy hit on me. Along that same time, I had a couple friends back home that died. I mean, there was like a 3 month period where I had like 4 people in my life that had passed
That's
away.
the way.
So
Yeah.
all that kind of started weighing on me. At the time, I was not equipped to handle it. So being at a bar, what did I do? I turned to the bottle and was just kind of using that
Mm,
as my crutch. And my wife, she could see that and she was sympathetic for me, but at the same time, she was like, "What are you doing?" So
yeah, for sure.
I can remember it like it was yesterday, man. I mean, we had just gotten into a fight because I was, drunk the night before, whatever, and
Mhm.
just had all these emotions going on, didn't know how to handle them. She had just left for work. I'm like sitting in my bed, like just not feeling great because I was out drinking the night before. Like I remember I've always been a prayer, but I think it had been a long time since I talked to God. I
Mm,
was uh I was praying, but it was just kind of routine. Like it wasn't there was no depth to it.
yeah.
I remember for the first time in I mean, it was the first time in probably a year that I really just sat down. I was like, God, I know what I'm doing is not right. Like
Mm,
I'm lost right now. Like I've turned every way I thought I knew how, except for
yeah,
the
to
way that
you.
I to you, yeah, to the
Mhm.
guy that can actually take care of this for me. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't like at this
Mm,
time my whole identity was my career. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's next for me, but I know this isn't it, and I just need guidance in this next
Yeah.
chapter. I remember that night my wife came home and I was like, "Let's go back to Tennessee." She's like, "Are you
Really?
serious?" Yeah, and she had friends in Birmingham, but like a lot of her friends were just my friends, so like she could go hang out whenever I was hanging out, like if I ever had time off. So she was missing home bad. So I was like, "Hey, you've made all these moves for me. Like I'm not being the man you need me to be. Like let's get you back home. Let's get me back home. Let's get there and figure it out." Like I just took the leap and put my trust in God for the first time, and I
Hmm.
mean at that point years.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Dang, okay. I remember some yeah, I remember you telling me some of that stuff, but I don't think I really understood the depth of stress and weight, the weight that it was on you to obviously, anytime you lose anybody close to you, it's hard, but COVID just got down there, then those things happen, and it's hard to you're not making the money you wanna make, and it's hard to all those things, like, everything does just add up. Um, it's so interesting, I feel like whenever we have those moments, those God moments, it always it comes, like, right after or during a very, very hard time, but it's also if you're really paying attention and seeking the Lord, which you were, it's also just very obvious. Like, it's very obvious that there's a moment that I'm experiencing with God, and I have to respond. Like, I have to do something differently. I have to respond. I have to be obedient. I have to be faithful because for a lot of us, that's hard to do. It's hard
Hmm.
to be obedient. It's hard to be faithful, especially when like you said, my which is so good because a lot of us, I think a lot of men relate to this. Our identity is wrapped up in what we're doing or what people who people say we are, who people think we are. Because that's where we think our value is. That's where we think our um how we people why people like us, why people, are drawn to us. So it's like I can't let go of this thing because if I do, then what? Then who am I? Then what am I gonna do? But so many times God is like, son, because he is our father. He's like, son or daughter, son, I have something for you that will bring me more glory, but will also bring you more joy and more peace. And so but we
Mhm.
have to respond to it. That was me, like, I had a moment in my home and I had to respond, or else, like, where would I be right now? I mean, we would not know each other for sure, would not
Yeah.
be doing this, so and it's just your decision brought you back to where you were, my decision brought me to where I was, and then it's like and then we have this moment
Yeah.
where,
Thank God.
we're praise God and thank God for sure. So let's go to the Brotherhood group.
Mhm.
How did yeah, how did that come up for you? You saw content, I know we obviously started talking via Messenger like I
Yeah.
always do. Um, but like were you searching for something? Were you looking for what got you to the point where you're like, okay, this is interesting to me. I'm curious.
Yeah. So, actually, at the time that I joined the Brotherhood group, like, life was going good. I felt like my relationship with God was good, but I just felt like I needed that extra push. Like, I was ready to ramp it up.
Mhm.
Um, you just kind of naturally came into my algorithms, like faith and fitness. Like, that was kind of what I followed on Instagram. So of course, like, I saw your content. I was like, man, this is cool. I was like, it's the fitness stuff that I like, but he's putting Bible verses with everything. I was like,
Yeah.
this is something different. So naturally, I started stalking you on Google, and I was like, oh, this dude played football at Memphis, and I was like,
Yeah.
we had that football connection playing college ball. So I was like, one thing about that and is if I see another guy that played football, I know like football guys are just different. Like there's a
Yeah.
different level of uh discipline that comes along with that sports was intriguing to me. Um so yeah, I stumbled across your Instagram page and I was like, man, this is cool. And I don't think the first couple posts I saw from you even mentioned the Brotherhood group. Like I think maybe they
Mhm.
did, but it wasn't what stuck out to me at first.
Yeah.
And then the more I started following you, the more I was like, oh, what's this Brotherhood thing that he keeps talking about? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was something that I was kind of missing in my life. Not that I don't have great friends here, I do, but it's just,
Right. Yeah.
you know, I hate to say the word surface level relationships, but
Yeah.
I mean,
And
sometimes that is what it is.
yeah, I was gonna say that's not a bad thing, but I just think that is most of the guys who are in the group, in the program, and myself too. I've I've had great friends my whole life,
Hmm.
like good conversations, good times, good memories, all those things. Wouldn't trade any of it for the world. Like just amazing times. But to your point, when I look back at those friendships, there was not a lot of depth, if any. It
Yeah.
was just we like the same things, we have similar mindsets to some extent, we are interested in the same things, so it's like, yeah, let's hang out, let's have a good time, and that's great. But I think what most men are missing, which is why this program exists, is the depth part to that. Like,
100%.
getting into an environment where I can be, like you said earlier, your wife knowing who you really are, like, I can be that guy, but in a setting to where I'm also challenged, I grow, I overcome, if I fall, I get back up and I have other men supporting me, I can have prayer, I can pray for, like, there's so many more layers to us as men, more than just, like, football or
Yeah.
like to drink beers or like to tailgate or like to, crack jokes. Like those things are all great. There's nothing wrong with them, but there's so much more. And when you find that, it's hard. You do look at your other friends and you're just like, man, that was cool, but man, it was so surface level. It was just
Yeah.
there was not a lot there. So just
Yeah.
wanted to throw that in
And I
there.
think at the time, like those depth conversations, like obviously I had my wife, but um, you know, there's a that's a different kind of relationship. Like
Oh, 100%. It
that's
is.
I have to be her protector. So opening up to her about certain things was I was more concerned about, being there for her than I was her being there for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Natural.
um, and she's a woman. So
Yeah.
I'm a man. I mean, there's
Yeah.
just certain things that like us as men need other men to talk through.
100%.
And
That's good.
and I had that with a couple of friends, but I mean, it was also just for some reason, people that you've known for a long time are harder to open up to sometimes than a complete stranger. So, like, I came into the Brotherhood group and I was just like, I'm gonna tell these guys everything. I don't care. They don't know me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like there's no judgment there. They can think I'm a
100%.
weirdo all I want. I may never see them in person.
Yeah.
So, um,
That's
but yeah,
funny.
no, man, it was just, and he spoke when I'd messaged you and was just like, "Hey, like, I'm interested. Let's
Yeah.
hop on a call." And we eventually did. And you had asked me, like, "Have you ever done any groups like this before?" And I had been approached several times about doing like some fitness based groups, but they were
Yeah.
all
That's right.
that all was kind of surface level to me. Like, I mean, I can always use the extra push in my fitness. But growing up, playing ball and stuff, I felt like I kind of had a wrap on that aspect of
Yeah.
life. I
Like,
didn't
I
need
get
to
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need to invest into a program to like I knew what I needed to do there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it is great having that extra push. Like
For
that's
sure.
helped me tremendously and given me different you know, different avenues of workouts I can do, nutrition, stuff like that. That part's great, but I knew where I really needed to grow was in Christ. And that's
Mhm.
what stuck
Come on.
out to me the most about the Brotherhood group and having a group of like minded men surrounding me that
Mhm.
I start opening up about issues I'm having, thinking that they're unique to me. And then I've
Yeah.
got 20 other dudes telling me about how they've already been through that and what they did to get on the other side of it. That was
Yeah.
something I've never had in my life before.
Yeah. Same. Like, I'll me too. Me too. So I love that for you. Um, What were because I know a lot of guys some guys are hesitant, some guys are like, "I don't know if I should, I don't know if I can. Is this a scam? Is this guy just trying to take my money? Is this even really him?" Dude, with our world this is a sidebar, but I'm like, with our world of AI and technology, dude, I send so many voice messages and video message now because 'cause I'm like, "I want you to know you're talking to me, like, you're not
Really me.
talking to." Yeah, it's really me. But what were hesitations, if any, what were hesitations for you before we really started to get into conversation and eventually jumping on the call and eventually you making that decision? What were any hesitations you might have had?
Uh, yeah, I mean, obviously, investing in yourself monetarily is always kind of you're gonna automatically kind of have some guards up when it comes to that.
Actually, pause on that.
Okay.
Why? Why? I'm curious from someone who done it and then you did it
Yeah.
again.
Uh huh.
What would you say why are those guards up? And this is a genuine question. Like, why are those guards up?
I mean, I think for me, it's just it, like we've talked about before. It's not like a small investment by any means, but
For sure.
um, it was just I'm paying for something that I'm not experienced yet. So, like, do I really know what I'm getting?
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, yeah, that's fair.
so like just going into it, there was kind of that, just like, man, I really like what this guy's selling, but
Yeah.
it
I don't
is
really
what,
know.
yeah, is what he's selling actually what I'm getting.
Mm.
I looking at you now, I'm like, how silly of me to even think that. But at the
But I
time,
think that
I
is
didn't know
real
you from
though.
Adam. Yeah.
No, we didn't know each other at all. 100%,
Yeah. But
100%.
I mean,
Okay.
as soon as we hopped on that call, I got to talking to you. I was like, if this dude is BSing me, he is the world class BSer. Cause like I was like, man, he like, I
Give
mean,
him
you
an
just
Emmy.
spoke, yeah, you just spoke to me, man. And I was, yeah, I mean, my guards were up just because obviously at that point, I had just started with my career at Shelter.
Yeah,
So I saw the potential of my earnings there, but hadn't started earning yet. So it
yeah,
was
yeah,
everything was just kind of like there was a lot of uncertainty
sure,
and
uncertainty, which is mainly
yeah,
what it is. Okay.
yeah,
Any,
there was a lot of uncertainty.
any doubt? any fear? Would did that you do you think or do you feel like that played a factor as well? Like, man, if I do this, will it even work? Will I even succeed? Like, did that ever come into play, do you think?
Yeah, well, for me, it was self-doubt. Will I actually follow through
Yeah,
with this?
that
Will I actually is this something that I'm just excited about now that a week from now I'm gonna be like, "Ah, why did I just spend money on this?" Like, I'm
sure.
not that into it. Like,
Yeah,
there was that self-doubt just because I had failed a million times before trying to do
100%.
things. Like, I'm a guy that's
Yep.
done 75 hard and, did that program and then packed all the pounds back on. Like, it was
Yeah.
just what's different about this? Like, and I mean,
For sure.
fast forward, I mean, what's different about it now is outside the program. What's different about it is me because of investing, not money aside. Once the money was invested, I actually got into the program. Money didn't cross my mind again. Now it was about investing myself, investing my time, like
And
really,
go and actually committing.
yeah, committing to the program. I was like, man, which is why I think you've got to charge something that makes guys not want to
Yeah,
back out. So
yeah.
it was for me, man, it was yeah, there was that self-doubt of just like, is this just gonna be another thing that I'm hyped about for a month and
Mhm.
then let it fall off? But it has not been that for me. It's been
So
a blessing.
yeah, so on that, and I'll also say, I'll add this because this is 1,000,000% true. This program, while I believe it is the best faith-based program out there,
Mhm.
personally, the thing that makes it the best is guys like Chip because he shows up and he does the work. I could have this program could be what it is, and then Chip could come in and do nothing. And then and if every guy came in and do nothing, this program would not be good. So my confidence in saying that is because I look at a guy who did it, made the investment, started, and then went all in every aspect. And which he can talk about however he wants to, while he's been in the program, he's had ups, he's been successful, he's been crushing it, and he's had downs. And he's had moments where he hasn't been showing up. And he's had probably moments of fear and doubt. Like, all of those things don't ever go away. We are human, we're in an imperfect world. There will never, ever be a job, a relationship, a program that you join and everything just goes up. I'm just crushing it. Never have a down day, never have a bad day. I never doubt, I never fear. Like, that is not a thing. So when I talk about how confident I am in the program, it is because I know if the right guy gets in and he takes action and he's serious, bro, it is a life changer. It is a life changer. So, the program's great, but it's not great if you don't show up and you don't put in the work, and that's exactly the kinda guy Chip is, which he's told you guys already, but I've got to experience that and see that, and then the bonus is his company that he works for is literally the headquarters in my city, so I've actually got to hang out with Chip twice.
Yeah.
So that's just been icing on the cake, but Chip, what would you say has been the biggest transformation for you spiritually, physically, mentally? Because I would say, in order for men to really grow in this program, there has to be some identity shift.
Mhm.
There has to be. We can't operate how we used to operate. Like, there has to be a new, and that identity, I would hope, and I'm going to hear you, but that identity is now rooted in Christ, no longer in who you are or what you do. So, what has been your biggest identity shift or transformation since being in?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. My identity is in Christ now, where before my identity, I could say it was in my career, it was in whatever I had going on at the time. Honestly, it was selfish. I was just my identity
Same.
was in myself.
Yep.
Uh,
Same.
that's been the biggest shift for me is like my priorities have completely shifted. I used to unknowingly have myself at the top and then everything else kind of fell under that. Now it's Christ, wife, family, so on and so forth. And
Come on,
because
man.
of that, I've actually invested in myself and put more focus on myself than I ever have before.
Mhm.
And it's because I'm no longer making myself the priority. It's
Yeah. That's
everything
good.
else that I'm prioritizing over myself has made me a better self. So,
Mhm.
uh,
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just I wake up every morning now and I talk to God instead of waking up every morning and stressing about what I have going on. It's
Yeah,
nothing that I have going on is by accident, and nothing that I have going on is something that I can't, lay in God's hands and let him take the wheel on. So,
that's right.
um, I think as wrapped up as I was in myself, as like high as I was on myself on the surface,
Yeah,
I've got a whole new confidence about myself and it's in Christ. It's not in myself anymore.
come on, let's go. How has being around these guys and these men, how has that also helped? Just being in the program, being around the guys, how has that helped you? How has it shaped you? Yeah, any of those
Yeah,
things.
no, man. I mean, I made this joke, and it's not really a joke, but I told you I was like all my best friends these days. I talk to on a Zoom call. There's a couple
Yeah,
times a
right.
week.
Yep.
So man, I mean, I've made some really, really strong relationships with some guys in this group, and I can honestly say like there's not one guy in the group that I don't love that I wouldn't pray for and drop them a pin if they needed me.
Mhm.
I put my phone number out there for everybody. Like I really do. As invested as I am in myself, I'm invested in my brothers now, and I think everyone in the group's got that mindset. So it's like we can't lose because we've all got each other. So,
Right.
man, I've just made some really, really strong connections with some guys, and at times before where I would be stressed about something or have some issues going on, and just go handle it however I was going to handle it at the time and suppress it. Like I don't have to do that anymore. I can pick up my phone and there's 20 dudes that I could text or call and be like, "Man, this is what I got going on right now. I know you've been through something similar.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need from this conversation. I just feel like I need to talk to somebody." And
Yeah,
I've got that readily available to me now,
that's
which
right.
is not something I've had before.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring this up too with what you just said as we kind of wrap it up here, but um the access, this is it's so goofy to say this, but from the experience I've had, it'll make sense. Your access and the guy's access in the group to me, like how you can just call me, text me, chat. I mean, we talk on the phone at least, I mean, at least a couple times a month at this point, just hanging out and seeing how life is if you need something or whatever. But I say this because I've had guys who have been talking to me in the DMs or anything like that will say like, "Well, there's a program that I did before and the main guy I never really saw, and I just
Mhm.
got like this PDF and there's just a group chat. Like that was it. Just a PDF, a group chat, and I didn't ever really see or talk to the main guy." So what has that been like for you to build the relationship with me, the owner, the leader of the group? What has that been like for you, as opposed to, other people are like, well, that sounds cool, but I don't ever talk to the guy or I don't ever, it's just something that I'm like, this is not worth the investment. This is not worth my time. How has that been with you for our relationship to build like it has?
Yeah, man. I mean, first and foremost, like it's the word brotherhood. Like that's really how I feel about what our relationship. Like I mean, I found a brother in you, and it's not like, hey, it's just this guy that I get to talk to a couple times a week on a Zoom call. Like we have
Yeah.
a real relationship. Like we
Yeah.
really talk as brothers and friends outside of even just the group. Like you said, I got the pleasure of coming down and seeing you a couple times, man. It's like even though I've only seen you twice in person, it never felt like it felt
Yeah.
like just an old high school buddy that I was
Yes.
running into.
Honestly.
And
Yep.
man, I just want to say this for anyone that's listening that is thinking about joining the Brotherhood. Like we talked about the investment it is, but I want to let y'all know like that's not who Steph is. It's not a money scheme.
Mm,
Like if people like me weren't getting the impact out of it like we are, uh, this wouldn't mean anything to Steph. Like
mhm.
the results that we're all getting is what he does this for. Like it's not a money trap, man. He's really I've told you this before, Steph, and I want to say it to anyone listening. Like this was a godsend for me. It was a godsend for a lot of people, and I know you're a humble dude, and I know that it's all God, but like someone had to answer the call, and you did that, and I'm very thankful for that.
Man, thank you. I'm not gonna get emotional. Not me. Not this morning on Friday. Nope. No, I appreciate that, man, and it is a blessing. It is a joy of my heart to just do life. I mean, that's really what we're doing. We're doing life together,
Hmm.
right? And it's awesome. It's awesome to talk to your wife, a couple times. I've got to, see you go through being a dad, but also now being about to be a new dad here in about a week or so, like any day maybe.
Days.
But yep. So I'm excited, man. Chip, and man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing. And again, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, it's just the program. I just need the program." It's like, no, you don't need the program. You need the work.
That's
The
right.
program is the structure. The program is no different from, I know it's cheesy and everyone's heard this. The program is no different from a GPS. Like, it's the directions, but you have to also do the work. You have to follow it. And guys like Chip, guys like Matt, guys like Chris, like there's other guys that come to my mind. Um, it works because they work. There's also been guys here who it doesn't work and they're not doing anything. They don't have access to anything different than what Chip has access to. The difference is that man right there who's sitting on the other side of the screen showing up and putting in the work. And when you put in the work in this scene, in this scenario, you realize, man, what happens when I work? And then you just work in other areas of your life. You work on your marriage, you work on being a dad, you work at your job. Like, you don't just show up passively. And I think that's what a lot of men do. We're just a body and we show up passively. Like, this is my job, I'm here. Or yeah, I'm married and that's my wife, but I'm just passive about it. I come home, I sit on the couch, we talk every now and then that's it. It's like, bro, if you want life to be better, then work. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, man, where am I not working? Where am I not showing up? Where am I, to you said, where am I wrapped up in my own self and I'm not getting my identity, my joy, and my peace from the Lord? So, last thing, because I think it's important, the your faith, because I would say the thing that has grown the most is your faith, which that's what I want. That's what I want. That's more important than anything. I do care, but I don't really care about fitness mindset, because if you I've been super fit and I've also been very selfish.
Hmm.
I've been very, very disciplined in my fitness and nutrition, and I've been a horrible husband and a not present dad. So when I say I don't care about your fitness, or not yours, but people, I'm not saying I don't care in a way of I don't want to see you grow in it. I don't care in a way of if your faith is not growing and your fitness is, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because then you're still wrapped up in your identity and yourself. And I've talked about this a lot recently. The biggest lesson I've been learning over the past year or so is my life is not about me at all. But when I put my fitness first, I do that because of me. When I put my career first, I do that because of me and how I look. When I put God first, I let God drive everything that I do. So I would say, watching you, Chip, you've grown in all the areas, but I would say your faith has grown the most. What has that done? How has that helped you? I'm trying to ask how I can ask this specific. I'm trying to think how I can ask this specifically. How has growing in your faith, how has that changed your life? So there you go.
Yeah. No, that's a great question, man. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like everything that I was focusing on before it would work for me for a little while, but crazy enough, man, you can read any self-help book you want on business or fitness or whatever, but there's one book that gives you the guideline of how to really succeed in life. And
That's right.
once I got in that book, man, and really started putting God first, everything else fell into place. Um, it was just it was something I knew I needed to be doing, but for some reason, my stubborn self just thought I could get to where I wanted to go, putting my focus elsewhere. And once I
Mhm.
started kind of letting everything else be secondary to that, everything else excelled. Um, I also was super blessed in the new career I'm in. I've got a great godly mentor for a boss, though. Um, Surrounding myself, seeking out that
Yeah.
those kind of people to be in my life. It was no accident that I am where I am today. I mean, I was praying for another change. The real estate market had gotten kind of wonky. So I was praying for another change, and God put another godly mentor in my life. And I mean, I'm in the best position I've ever been in career wise. So uh, everything everything started falling into place for me when I started prioritizing my relationship with God.
Come on, man. I mean, that's a mic drop right there. That's good. I love it. Awesome, man. Well, Chip, dude, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited to Chip recommitted to the Brotherhood group for a whole nother year. So I get to watch him grow for the rest of the year, and I know it'll be beyond that too. But this is a friendship. This is a brotherhood that I know it's not just for the here and now. It's for a very, very long time. So, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm excited for the growth that you've made, but man, I'm more excited about what God is going to continue to do in and through your life, and now he's going to be glorified through the life that you're living, man, because you're I can say this, I don't know you 10 roof days, I don't know that version of you, but I would put a lot of money down on the fact that you are a surrendered man to the Lord now more than you've ever been.
Amen.
And that's the win in my book, brother. So, man, I love you. I'm proud of you. Guy, anything on your end, any last thing you want to say to encourage anybody who's listening? You can encourage them in the brotherhood group way, or if you just want to encourage them just in life, like what would you tell a guy right now who kind of he's just coasting. He's
Yeah.
just
Well, no,
coasting. He's not really all in on anything. He's just coasting, and he knows there's more. He knows there's more within him, but it's hard for him to kind of get into that. So what would you say to that guy who's just coasting right now?
man, what I mean, I couldn't recommend the Brotherhood group, but you know, get around other like-minded men who are trying to walk the same path as you are, whether that be the Brotherhood group or just a church group, whatever it may be.
Amen.
Get with other men who want to seriously see you be the godly man that you're supposed to be. And at the end of the day, nothing, like Steph said, nothing works if you don't do the work. None of this matters. It's all for naught if you're not striving to be a better godly man every day. Man, I would just say if you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it for a reason. On my call with Steph, after we had our talk and the money portion got brought up, I was like, "Brother, I took this call for a reason. Let's go."
That's right.
And
That's
don't be
right.
scared to jump. Don't be scared to jump, and don't be scared to surrender it all to God.
Amen. Let's go.
Love you,
Awesome.
brother.
Love you too, man. You have a good day. Guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.